The benefits of living in the 21st century is the fact of having all kinds of technology at our disposal. Now, technology does not necessarily refer to things with wall plugs or things that need batteries which require charging. It can also refer to the smaller things in our lives that we do not think about. It can be the tin cans from which we enjoy our soft drinks. It can be the kind of material we wear to either keep us cool or keep us warm. Technology can even refer to the shopping plastic bags we all purchase from our local supermarket. Now, the problem has become that we've only seen a singular use for all these products that have seemingly changed our lives for the better. What we need to start doing is think about alternative and improved ways of using all these items that have a limited life. The Repurpose School Bags project, based in Tlhabane, Rustenburg in the Northwest, has started operating based on this simple principle. The objective was to create value in the lives of school children from disadvantaged areas. What came out was a trendy and unique school bag made from plastic bags and small solar panels. The uses and benefits of this bag are multiplied. But more importantly, the impact that the bag has had is large and ever expanding. What's more is that the founders of this school bag have also managed to make themselves visible to a number of corporate sponsors and partners. This is what is helping grow the initiatives. Today, we're visiting the home of the Repurpose School Bags to meet the founders and investigate how this brilliant idea came to be. Welcome to another exciting and informative episode of PHAKISA. Now, in the first season of PHAKISA, we have preached several messages to you. We have preached about the several ways that you can benefit from waste and recycling. We've also preached about the dangers of illegal dumping. But we've also tried to show you just how recycling can become an impactful economy on its own. We'd now like to culminate our journey by simply talking to you about the idea of creating value in waste. In order for you to fully realize the benefits that you can get in waste, we need to adopt an economical and ecological paradigm shift. We need to think differently about waste. Which brings us to the story of Thato Kgatlhanye, who was challenged by her lecturer to not just get a qualification and join the rat race. She was challenged to create value from waste. And that's exactly what she set out to do once she got her certificate. Check out her story. Pumelo, thank you so much for joining us, Monomo PHAKISA. Tell us about the Repurpose School Bag. What is that all about?
So the Repurpose School Bag is the solar-powered backpack made from recycled plastic. The bag brings safety and dignity together for a child and makes it possible for them to do something as simple as homework after dark.
Why recycling? You could have done anything else.
One thing we have a surplus of is plastic in our country. I mean, we've got a lot of plastic pollution. So what better way to not only get rid of the plastic pollution, but to upcycle it and make a product that has worth.
So how did you and your partner, Thato, come up with this idea, and what is the driving force behind it?
I am Ritaka's brand manager. Thato Kgatlhanye is Ritaka's founder.
Right.
And the idea of the Repurpose School Bag is actually her brainchild.
How many communities have you touched with the kind of work that you guys are doing?
We've been able to manufacture and distribute 10,000 Repurpose School Bags, and that is across South Africa. So in 5 provinces. We've managed to take our bags to Nigeria, to Niger, to Zambia.
That is fantastic. Now tell us about the factory that you work from.
We work in Northwest Development Corporation, small industries factory base.
Where do you source your material from?
We get our plastic from actually different places, from landfills, and also we have schools who collect plastic for us.
Tell us about the people that you have formerly employed at the factory. Just tell us a little bit about what they do, what they were doing before.
We started off with 4 women who were previously unemployed. We have volunteering programs set up at the factory to teach the ladies how to make a repurposed school bag from scratch. We have 4 stations, washing station where batlatswa di plastiki, they debrand them, and then we have the cutting station, then we have the sewing station.
You must have come across numerous challenges. Please tell us about that.
Like any small company, when you start up, the startup phase is very challenging, especially when it comes to accessing funding. So we didn't go that route. We won business competition. That was our starting capital. Yeah, that was our starting capital.
How do the RS bags create value in their immediate surrounding?
Children walk long distances to school. So the repurposed school bag, first and foremost, is bright. So that heightens a child's visibility on the road to motorists.
What is in the pipeline for RS?
Currently working on shopper bags, also made from the same material, to increase the amount of plastic we recycle.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Ke nna Eunice Sebale, ke tlhaga ke le Motlhabane. So ke startile go bereka mo Rethaka last year ka April, but ke ne ke volunteer 1 month. On May ke a simolola ka nna mo provisioning for 3 months. After 3 months ke ga ba re tsaya permanently ka August. Be ke starta ke bereka mo Rethaka. Ke startile ke bereka ko ironing station. Then from ironing station ka tla mo cutting station last year September. Then January ka simolola ka PHAKISA go roka. Then on February ke ha ke starta ke bereka mo site-eng ya sewing station. Ga o le hard work ya o ka khona mo Rethaka. Mmereko re etsang for Rethaka ke bona re tle go go pele because ke mmereko o thusang bana ba tlhokang, especially bana ba sena motlakase. Ga ba bala during the night wa ba thusa haholo ka le bona. And then o ba thusa le gore nako ngwe o fitlhele ngwana tsamaya long distance ka nako tsele tsa dipula tsele school bag sa rona se sireletsa metsi a le gore a se ka tsena mo dibukeng tsa ngwana school because re etsa school bag from plastic. Fa ke tsena phakela mo mmerekong ke tshwanetse ke make sure gore target a letsatsi ka e reach or ka e fit because tsatsi le lengwe ke tshwanetse ke be ke dira di school bag tse 18.
Amazing work by Tato and her team. I must say, I cannot believe just how beneficial that bag is. I want to go back to school just so that I can have an excuse to have one. Those kids are so lucky. But Agomanje, let's turn our attention to the admirable work of the eThekwini municipality again. Now, biogas has many benefits, but one of its most important benefits is that it can generate electricity. How, you may wonder? Well, stay tuned.
My name is John Parkin. I'm the Deputy Head for Durban Solid Waste, which is part of the municipal department with the city. This is a project where we extract the gas that is naturally formed in the landfill site. So we drill wells in the waste. We put pipes through the waste with some slots in them. We then suck that gas down the pipeline and into this compound. And that gas is then used as the fuel to drive the engine. And the engines drive the generators, which create the electricity, and that electricity is then fed into the local grid. So the community within about 1 kilometre of this site is using green energy generated from this landfill site, and this particular site generates around about 6 megawatts of electricity. We first started the initiative as way back in 2003, which was all the investigations, getting the authorities to be able to do the project because it was the first in Africa. From 2003 to 2006 was basically getting everything ready and doing the investigations. Construction started in 2006 at Marion Hill, and we commissioned that engine in November 2006, and that's been running since then. This project here and has been running since March 2008. Okay, because it was the first in Africa, we didn't really have anybody to look at to see how to do it. The practical side of running a project like this, when you don't really have anybody else to turn to find out what they did in those processes. So those were really the biggest challenges. Project that has made money or saved money for the city, because to date we've generated 165 million rands worth of electricity that the city would have had to purchase from Eskom. And it also has put Durban on the map because it's a first for Africa and not many people have seen these type of projects in this area. So we're getting a lot of other cities coming to find out how the system works. We decided that we'll clean the gas, get it to 98% pure and use it in our vehicles. So we will purchase gas-driven vehicles and use the gas from there to fuel those engines. So that project will start next year. So that's the expansion for the city.
I'm really glad for the communities that will benefit from that initiative and innovation. And it's so remarkable to see just what one can achieve when they think differently about waste. Ngai Ndawo will be back with so much more on the flip side of this. We're back in Tlhabane Rustenburg at the Repurposed School Bags Factory. Now, in 2003, the government introduced a 3-cent levy on recyclable plastic bags. This was to curb the pollution that plastic bags create all over the country. Imagine if the repurposed school bags were around at that time, what a worthy cause it would be. Now, let's make our way into the factory and see exactly how these babies are made. Osma Pefo, thank you so much for joining us, Mono PHAKISA. Please tell us what we dirang mo.
More taka more it's the school bag in it. So the school bag we are manufacturing it from the plastic. The plastic is the jungle dumping site. So after the plastic is already transferred, then after the school bag, then already fabana about more community.
And Nonzo Irang, before you did this type of work?
No, I wasn't working.
The difference that these plastics that you guys recycle are making in the community, giving.
It's a huge difference because school bag is that light is solar is charge so it was electricity.
Right now, the production process ya bag elira.
Production is started from PHAKISA and the plastic it's a failure to dumping site washing department the body chemical repeater one shot so it remove the brand the plastic after body dry after then the ironing station going for the iron into a hard sheet after food the cutter from the pattern school bag then a sewing machine.
How long does it take huira bag A1 and lira di bag tse kae ka letsatsi le le 1?
Okay, it's a bag it's a 40.
But ho nka nako e ka kang ho etsa bag A1 fela?
If we it's a felletse ka ofela ke an hour.
Oh,
yeah.
To make one bag, yes. An hour. Di lasta nako e kae di bag tse?
You can say maybe 1 year or 2 years guarantee.
And what is the retail value? Yeah, the bag tse
284 because it's a solar panel.
What is your role in this space?
I'm a supervisor here because boss has to on every day.
Yeah.
Upila at Amaya to my get. So can make it community farmer, staff whatever, production, before the short time then yeah, I can try to get it done.
Fantastic. Those my people nako.
Thank you very much.
I cannot believe just how a production team that small can create such great value. I almost wish I came with my small samosa plastic bags just to get a special repurposed bag made for me, custom made. Ogamanje, let's talk to Mr. Kanaga about how the kids at his school will benefit from the repurposed school bags.
And then the solifella for Banaba and Babato and the item. They are ready. Arabi say, but I'm most staging who say, First column say the head of department, but for the past 6 months, it's a actor as principal, as necessary principal. Banaba Ntigidi often is a problem. So I really have to go to payment this thing and make it really go to Sabanaba Toka. As a rural area, on a problem, Hutima Hamotakas, 2 to 3 days, Manadia Tomahan, and I want to do over Tusa because Honor Baganalama Ipatawa and the Hosnamotakas, Pogona Saraka Motakas, and the Resnadi Keres. They will assist them. Re Solofera Hore, Wintibo Rotwes Abana, Hore Ba, Tata, Ba. Pakanyetsebo ka moso ba bone ke lebo ha thulaganyo yotlhe di rilwe la ha ke rena ne ke sa itse ke utlile ka ena nthare di beke hona le go di dirwang yo patelwa ke Coca-Cola ro tla re kopane re di tlisa so mo ho bone ba ba tsereng karolo gore bana ba rone ba filwe di beke ke lebo ha thata re re modimo ba tshegofatse.
Truly inspirational. Those bags are some fine-looking things, and I have a feeling that we'll be breeding some responsible and hardworking citizens thanks to those bags.
Company ya rona re simolotse February 2016. Re simolotse re etsa di-handbag, luxury kind of bags, and then from there, ra bona gore le ko di-mining ba tlhoka di-bag that are strong. And all of our bags are made from recycled tire material. Re kry-a di-tube from the dealership tsa mataere, from the transporter tsa re di isa from batho in the community, and ba di tlisa ko saeteng ya rona. Then from there, di a tlhatswiwa by the people ba berekang le rona, and then di tliswa into our factory e ba etsang production mo yone. He fitlha mo production e khatiwa into different patterns according to the bag tsa re di etsang, and then di a rokiwa. The way re di marketang ko batho so that le bona ba di reke is that while they buying, re le ko ba ruta as well to look at matlakala bona from a different perspective. I think the first thing e re batlo etsang as a company is to recycle more things. Ka level fela di-tube, consider other things like your gold chips tse le di kry-ang mo di-computing, tse le di latlang, and all sorts of things. And those are the type of stuff we can use in our bags. One of the challenges that re kopaneng le tsone is value perception ya batho in terms of di-bag tsa rona di tshwana le tse leng in market, in terms of because wa ke matlakala, is it clean, is it worth, say when ordering it's worth in terms of how much the bag costs. We have every intention ya go godisa the company in terms of seeing our bags being retailed by the shop tse dintsi. Also being able gore re kgone go rekisa di-bag tsa rona overseas, di rekwa ke different shops, re collaborate with different brands so that it's not only known in South Africa, it's not only known more Africa, it's now known globally.
The smart and exciting part about the company is that they have forged relationships with corporate companies. Now, corporate companies have helped them grow in leaps and bounds. The handover ceremony or event is quite possibly the most special part of the process. Let's quickly head off to a school in the Northwest that was fortunate enough to be picked for a handover. Watch this. Colleen, thank you so much for joining us here on PHAKISA and for giving us your time. Firstly, how did you identify RS as a worthy cause to work together with?
I saw it in the U magazine. There was an article on this repurpose school bag, and I just thought it was just such a wonderful, wonderful initiative. And I went to my manager and I asked him if Coca-Cola couldn't get involved, and he said sure. He also thought it was a wonderful initiative.
Fantastic. How long have you been working with RS?
4.5, 5 years now.
Has the organization grown over time with RS?
Yes, very much so. They started off with 2 or 3 people, and today there were 16 people working there.
Would you encourage other corporate organizations to get involved in CSI such as this?
Oh, yes. And we've actually got a second one that's also like a pet project. It's recycling with a reward. So there's so many things out there and so much talent in this country. They must just give people a chance.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your time. What you've done is really amazing.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Now, this has always been my favorite part of the show. It's EnviroHack with our boy Swizer. You know, he's always got something really cool up his sleeve. And you know what? He just makes it seem so exciting. So let's check him out.
Oh, welcome to another episode of your favorite show, EnviroHack on PHAKISA. This one is dedicated to all the domesticated but unique and creative. Today we'll be making lifielo out of bottles. All you need is a couple of household items and items from your toolbox, such as your hacksaw, a craft knife, some scissors, pliers, screwdriver, screws, broomstick, and the bottles, of course. Now you're gonna take your shortest bottle, which is gonna serve as the base of your broom. So that's your craft knife, at the bottom, gonna be like this. And then you're gonna take your scissors and you will cut all the way up to bottle top, yeah. So it's gonna look something like this, right? This is your base. Now, last but not least, just like that. What you're gonna do next, after making that incision, is you're gonna take your broomstick and put it in, but you have to put it in from the bottom up and make sure that it goes all the way down. You're then gonna take your take your screwdriver and fasten it real tight. Now comes the rest, the supporter bottles. What you're gonna do is take your other bottle, now you're gonna use your hacksaw, of course, until it looks something like this. Take your scissors and do exactly the same thing, creating the bristles. But the difference is you won't cut it all the way to the top, rather maybe quarter way to the bottle top, until it looks something like this. Now do the same thing with all the rest of the 4 bottles. Now make sure that your last bottle should look something like this. You're gonna squeeze it together and make an incision. Make the incision and make sure that it looks something like this, because that's where the wire will be going in. You should have your base, and then your supporting bottles will come after that like this. Now what you do is then take the base that you cut in half and made a hole in, with the bottle top still intact. You push that in. The premise of this whole exercise is that your bottle should look something like this. You can go outside and suela. Look at the power. Suela, wanaya, suela.
We want to hear your green ideas, and I'm sure you know someone in your community that's doing something really great with recycling and waste. So do contact us on our social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our hashtag is WasteIntoWorth at PHAKISA TV. It was Utata Madiba who once said, and I quote, "What matters in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is the difference that we have made in the lives of others that determines the significance of the lives we have led." Think about it. If we humans could all pay attention to the waste that we produce, we could actually see the value in using all our resources. The kids benefited richly today from a brainchild that is from 2 women that dared to be different. A seed has been planted, and they are tomorrow's waste and enviro heroes. It's never too late. I've said this over and over and over again, that it starts at home. You can simply start by separating at source. Next thing you know, you could be right here on PHAKISA, a real interviewer about the innovation that you have created that is benefiting and saving the planet, literally. Well, folks, that's all we have for you. Thank you so very much for joining us once again. Can't say we'll see you next week, same time, same place, but we'll see you very soon in season 2. From myself, Lerato Zah, and the PHAKISA team, good night. And remember, let's keep the cycle going.